Welcome everyone. Welcome back. This is Evelyn. I missed you guys. Let's take a few deep breaths before we start. Another deep breath. One more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. It's kind of rainy and dark out today. It was yesterday too. I just did a meditation with my inner children, the masculine and the feminine. And it looks like the feminine side, like the sun was so bright, it was blinding, and the masculine was a little bit intimidated by that bright sun, but the feminine is really bright here, which is a really positive sign. It's just the masculine still is a little intimidated by that brightness of the sun. But not in a negative way. It's just, perhaps not at that vibration yet. So I was away. I've been having some water issues with the house, as I've been telling you about, and I just had some again when I came back from my trip. Everything's okay. I went away with my son. We went on a road trip. My daughter was supposed to come with us, but she couldn't get away from work, so we just went down to visit her. We went down to Charlotte first, and then to Atlanta, and then to Charleston, and then Virginia Beach for the day, and then home. And it was a beautiful trip. So I'm going to share some of it with you. I went on a ghost tour in Charlotte, so I want to share some of those pictures with you. So I had energies in every picture I took, literally. But I'll show you some of the ones that really stood out, and some of the other pictures on my trip that were significant. I want to roll the dice for you guys here first. Let's see what's coming up with the twins. I have the big read on the table for you, the 7-deck read. And I also did a message of the day from the Shaman Dreams deck and the Nature's Whispers deck. So I'll give you those messages as well as some highlights from my trip that were coming up as far as the energies. So let's go ahead and roll the die first for the twin flames. Today is June 23rd, 2022. Of course, we just passed the solstice energy of the 21st, and then the 622 of the 22 year. Very significant energies here. All right, so today is the 23rd, which is the King of Wands, and it adds up to 35-8, which is the 8 of Wands. I'm sorry, excuse me, it's the 9 of Wands. I knew that wasn't right. So it's the Wounded Warrior energy along with the King of Wands, which could be the same energy. And so yesterday was the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange. And before the King of Wands, the 34 is the 22 is the Fool's energy. So yesterday was that energetic exchange of the Fool, free with an open heart to take that leap of faith. And today going back into that Wounded Warrior type of energy of the King of Wands. All right, so for the twin flames, June 23rd, 2022. All right, we have Venus coming up here. And so Venus is Taurus and Libra. We also have Libra again here. So very Venusian here. And then the number 3 of coming together. 3 can be the energy of the Empress, of Gaia, of the happy-go-lucky energy of joy. It's also the month of March, which is Pisces going into Aries energy. So there's that Aries against the Libra energy that came up twice. And then Taurus came up twice too. So there's a lot of Venusian energy here. So let's see how that all plays out with Air and the Empress and Venus. Yeah. So all about Venus today. Very interesting, along with the Wounded Warrior and the King of Wands. And it's the card it's sitting on is Chemistry, with playfulness and trust. Okay. So, let's see. I left on the 11th of June. We drove down to Charlotte, and that's where we did the ghost tour. And I have to tell you, I stayed in Holiday Inns all the way through, and the Holiday Inn in Charlotte, number one, Charlotte has no shopping whatsoever in the city. It's all about food, and that's it. And we were looking for, because my son and I eat very differently, so we were looking for a compatible restaurant the first night, and we didn't find any, so we just ended up coming back to the hotel and eating there. And oh my God, you guys, this was like a gourmet chef in the Holiday Inn in Charlotte. It was the most amazing salad and pasta like ever. And they made the pasta a little bit special for me because I'm a vegetarian. It was so, so good. The presentation was amazing. It was beautiful. And it was so good. I just have to give them a plug there. Again, that's the Holiday Inn downtown in Charlotte, North Carolina. So check that out. So on the ghost tour, which was a lot of fun, we went past a prohibition house where they were making alcohol, and I didn't feel such negative energy around the prohibition house because we actually stopped in front of the house next to it, which was 404 and then 400 on that block. I think the prohibition house was 400. But then we passed this place. It's the Discovery Place Education Studio in Charlotte here. And it was at night. This was an empty building, and I'm going to just zoom in here so you can see how not empty it was, okay? So I want you to check that out. It was like full energy. I'd said to her that night when we passed this building that I wasn't getting much energy from the Prohibition House, but when we passed this building right after that, I was really nauseous. So obviously there's a lot of energies in that building, and also you see that there's burn marks at the top of the building, and they're on the sides here too, like a fire was there, but I couldn't find any report of a fire at that address. So I don't know if it had to do with the people inside of the building that we're seeing, that they got burned inside of this building or on this land, right? That was right next to this Prohibition House. So that was pretty interesting. And then this was an apartment building that used to be one of the medical facilities. And I like I said, I saw energies in every one of these pictures, but here was one of the windows in the medical facility, and you can see there was two perspectives I saw this man as, and you can literally see his collar. He came up first to me as a black orderly, but you can also see a patient with their arm right here, them dealing with it. Also comes up as a white doctor dealing with a patient. So either way you see it, it's coming up as both, and there were probably both of those energies in the house. And I got energies from lots of the windows, not just this window in this house. This was another building we passed by, and you can see the ET energy at the door. See the glass doors and that ET energy behind him, and that was one of the gentlemen on our ghost tour there. This was right in between the Prohibition House and the house next to it that we stopped in front of. And as you can see right here, there's a soldier, like a posted guard with a strap around his helmet there, holding it on, the profile of him. And you can see a guy with a patched eye over here in the tree as well. Okay. You can also see faces in this window. It was the same medical building there. As you can see there's multiple faces that I can see here. And here's that window again of the doctor or orderly, whichever perspective you see it as. I looked up this house because, oh, by the way, when I was looking back through these pictures for you guys, I didn't even notice this one before. I had taken this picture, and you can see a little, some energy here coming up. But what I noticed now was, oh yeah, there's a lot of faces in there. But I noticed the shadow of the way the leaves are. It's like somebody running, and there's that same shadow in the window, but it came up as the leaves as well. But whatever you see in that picture. Let me just put the lighting away from it a little bit so there's not so much reflection from the light. That's better. All right, so this picture here I wanted to show you because it's kind of a cool picture, but see this light spot right here? I'm going to zoom in on that light spot right there. Well, I can't zoom in on this picture. I took a close-up picture. I'm going to show it to you. So this is the zoom of that picture here. You see this guy here? That was that light that you saw from above, and there's definitely an energy there. But look, there's also somebody leaning off the building over here. And I was getting lots of people at the corners of the buildings, not just right there, but I saw them on the other side of this specific building too, huddled in a corner. So then I saw this is the same building, and there's more energies in the windows here. You can see someone sitting there, and then this is a big face of a man right there. But I was getting thorium here. At first it looked like thought, but then I got thorium as a download. And I looked up thorium, and thorium was actually used in the hospitals for contrast and radiation, I guess, type of stuff and treatment until about the 1950s. So it was used, and it's very toxic. What else was coming up? Oh, by the way, and thorium came up very significantly because they mine thorium in North Carolina. They did back then, and they still do. And then what came up with thorium, that came up again in my notes this morning, so I'm going to let you know about that too, because there was a company in Canada related to thorium. So I'll let you know about that in a minute. So then we were in, this was actually in Charlotte. This was in Charlotte on our cruise. We took one of those boat cruises in the harbor, the tours, and just a really cool picture that came up under the bridge. Again, the sun, everything was really beautiful there. Charlotte was more fun to shop in. On King Street, it's all shopping, and there's lots of different foods around. And we went on this cruise. We did a lot of walking. There's the bridge with the, I have a better picture of that one. So this is a really pretty picture of the bridge. And then here is on my way home. So we left, I think this was actually going from Charlotte to West Virginia. We were just in, I mean, not West Virginia, Virginia Beach. We were just in Virginia Beach overnight to break up our drive because it was a long drive. But I just took a shot of the sun out of my window while my son was driving, and this is what came up. Okay, so you see the spaceship. But there's also energy around the spaceship, which I'm going to show you pictures of these guys as well. And you see all the little colored balloons and stuff around the picture. It was really cool. So there's there's a closer picture of the spaceship energy here. And then you see there's like a face that's like a fish. And then this is more of a long head, you know, like a man with a hat talking to them. And I have a lot of pictures. But in this picture with the spaceship, you see like 3 ETs, very different energies. This one, and this one, like gathering around the spaceship talking. Oops, sorry about that. And then we have, so here's a close-up of that fish and man type of energy. So you see him now, like with his face, it's like there's blue coming out of his eyes, like telepathic energy. And there's the sun, of course, and there's that fish that they're communicating with. It looks like they're both working on the sun right here. Okay, and this is also the Statue of Liberty. See the face of the Liberty? It's like a broken Statue of Liberty with the crown coming out here. So I had a lot of pictures of this and the communication between those energies. So here it looked like Santa Claus, as you can see, like this big bearded guy. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong one. So here's this big bearded guy. His eyes are up here, and this is his beard. And then this, look at how the clouds were like literal feathers. They were beautiful. And then again, this was that same Statue of Liberty energy, but here I was getting this woman as a pregnant woman, right? We had like the energy going into her belly, but you can see a baby crying in a crib here and another empty crib below her to fill as she's like birthing a new light. It's really cool. If you could see that. And so again, it's just the energy of me opening the window with the colorful bubbles around that same energy that I'm getting. And I hope you can see in this picture, there are 2 lovebirds here. Can you see them in the clouds? They're big. One bird, two birds. Can you see them? Beautiful lovebirds. And then we have, look, this was a wasp following my son on the boardwalk. This was in Virginia Beach. So here he is still following him. Look at that wasp. It looks huge. And then we have, yeah, this is the sunset from my room in Virginia Beach. We had such beautiful weather the whole time. Everything was great. This beautiful sunrise, rather. And then check this out. This is just a ship with, you know, some birds flying. Beautiful picture. And some people walking on the beach from my room. Just some fun candid shots that came out really cool. This one, and this one. Some kids sitting on the beach. It was just beautiful. The energy was just beautiful. And look at the pink in the water. So beautiful. Pink, pink, and then the energy here. It was just beautiful. So thank you for entertaining me, allowing me to show you my pictures and share with you. I just want to scan through some of the, just some highlights of my notes from the past couple weeks before I get started on the reads. So again, I started my trip on the 11th, and I just highlighted some stuff that seemed significant to come up. So a lot of the theme of the reads when I was pulling cards had to do with dealing with children and pets and that kind of thing. And perhaps children here were either out of control or just, you know, dealing with children and unusual things like going on a trip with them or perhaps helping them move out. But there's definitely some suffering and silence regarding parenthood, and that can be parenting your own inner child as well as your parents as well. It can be different for everybody. So back before I left, the energy of the read I did, because I never got it out to you, we had a key aim here. M5 was coming up, which is a BMW, but however that comes up for you, as well as the word TAIM, T-A-I-M, which means I am. Again, the word aim was coming up in M5. Also, that's besides BMW, it's an army rifle. Also, the Magic 5 came up as a Russian group that had 11 million subscribers, so obviously they're very popular. It's also a marketing company, and M5 traffic updates in the UK came up. And TWCA came up. The definition for that is a sword or a butcher's cleaver, carving knife. I am 5, I am free, the human embodiment of source, the one, the someone, the tale of one, the seal of success coming up here, good news, the 16 of flames, the explosive new beginning, communication, synchronicities, and leadership. Also 8N tractors came up, as well as 8N lofts in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I think Nebraska came up again today. 5216 and 5224 came up as a lawn tractor and a VHF antenna. And also something in Pensacola, Florida, so that may be coming up significant for somebody, as well as Charlotte, North Carolina, which I was heading to after this read. So Charlotte came up there. Also 5224 brought up preserved British steam locomotives from 1924 to 63. Battery cell, which is funny because in Charleston, the road down by the water is called the Battery, kind of like in New York City. And again, Charlotte, North Carolina came up again. And Hebron, Kentucky as well. 5224 also came up as an angel number, remarkable changes that will happen in your career or your love life. A quest to find your one true love will soon come to an end. You must develop positive attitude towards how things will be changing fast and your best friend. The key aim to expand the world with good news leading the way in the dance of the Christ consciousness. And newbie ginning came up, and that was interesting too because I passed a cotton gin on the way home. Enticement, calm your show of power to go down, come positively charged ion. So the soul city was coming up, showing off, flirting, the player type of energy, to be in a rush, right? So to slow down and lead the mercy ship. 1M or OM was coming up, as well as Eagle M. Eagle Mountain in middle school, Canada came up. Eagle M 2010 Fire Department also came up. Emergency Fitzlock Model 3501. It's M50. Eagle M50 is literally a traffic controller device. And double Eagle M50 came up as a sniper rifle. 1M, IM, Free World of Good News, Dancing in 18, the Purple Moon. And the energy of the King of Wands being over the Page of Pentacles reversed, needing help or a missed opportunity. The King of Wands with a little lizard on their platform. So again, they could be dealing with a child or an intern, that type of energy. But it's like the child is eyeing their money clip slippers, like so, all about the money. And the King of Wands may be getting over the loss and regret of the Page of Pentacles reversed. We had Aquarius and Leo both reversed there in that read as well, getting to know each other with a codependency. And again, parenting, suffering in silence, or sleepless nights, or just stressed out. The Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed could be coming up as spoiled and or entitled, and that can be pets as well. The energy of the Page of Wands, and these pages came up in the current read as well a lot. There's this energy of the Page of Pentacles upright and the Page of Wands reversed, with an energy between them, came up in two different locations in the current read on the table. The King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles offering help, and the Page of Wands reversed, feeling like they're always telling them they're doing things wrong. The King of Pentacles always siding with the Page of Swords upright. So it's like, you know, a parent playing favorites. The Page of Wands may feel like they favor the other child over them. Also, you know, the parent needing to kick the people out of bed, whether they like it or not, or that could be a wake-up call, right? Whether they like it or not, they're getting up, they're waking up. And then the Empress reversed was with the King of Cups reversed, moving or visiting to recover and heal and lead the way to one missing them, perhaps. The Queen of Cups reversed of the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and the Knight of Swords cracking the whip with their kids. So that was some of the energies coming up before I left. And the Emperor reverse being unreasonable, which is funny because in this read, he came up being reasonable, the Emperor here. There could be an unnatural death that happened. That could be of an Empress reversed, which could be a mother, but it might be somebody else. I'm sorry if you lost someone, but it can just be an unnatural ending to something, not necessarily a death of a parent. We also had Scorpio upright with Taurus reversed, anxious about codependency, or Capricorn tempting them to give up their money. New beginnings, communication, synchronicities, leadership, and relationship change. Perhaps someone had a sudden jealous rage, or there could be sexual abuse coming up, and this might not be current. It might be something from the past that's bubbling up to be released. The Divine Masculine's heart coming out of the bat cave, and the Knight of Swords with the Queen of Wands reversed, starting a fight about screwing up or dropping the ball. Bored or no longer cares about rejected King of Pentacles or rejected by him. And the Queen of Wands reverse might be the one starting a fight to get him to open up. They may feel like that's the only way they can get them to express their feelings. Scorpio rage and jealousy, the only way she can get him to connect with her. So that could be why someone always freaks out. And it can just be their excuse and their personality. But it could be true for sure. Feeling unworthy, or kids being ungrateful or pain in the butts. And the King of Wands getting over loss of the Empress reversed and the Emperor reversed. And this could be someone who now has no parents, like I lost both my parents in the past 5 years. And no options and feeling uninspired. Challenged by success and working in transition of the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower with the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave, coming out to try out the Mary Magdalene Cave and confess romance to the family, business, or community that they're associated with. The Page of Cups reversed, a rejection and vulnerability, left questioning their worth. So that's at the beginning of my trip, along with the Empress reversed working to align, and the Emperor reversed in transition of the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave, whether that is the masculine or he's the man the masculine's been dealing with, who may have control over his life. The Hermit and the Mary Magdalene Cave both coming out to drop responsibilities at night with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and be vulnerable. Actually, be authentic to self, which has a lot to do with vulnerability. So, and then the 10th was, there's a lot of birthday energies that day. That's my mom's birthday, and two of my grandfather, my father's father, and my mother's grandfather, David Lubin. They're all June 10th. All Gemini energy. So a lot of Gemini stuff was coming up. And then on the 10th, again, a lot about crystals coming up. So time, money, and energy, being Christ-like or purging. ALS was also coming up, or Lou Gehrig's disease. Seth, the name Seth was coming up, as well as the Queen of Pentacles, being wise, regarding lovers, wise of Northeast, any or Nebraska, again, the healthcare in Nebraska, or healing to the nth degree, Nebraska, so maybe Nebraska needs extra healing here. We also had some of the movies that were coming up. Wayne Newton was coming up in with Ellen Griswold, just playing out that kind of energy of the Empress. She was actually more powerful than him. She was coming up as the Empress upright, and he was coming up as the King of Cups upright. And then happy and destined with the Eight of Cups reversed, uncomfortable with the Page of Swords reversed, and children around. And you know about Las Vegas vacation, where the kids are all up to something and not doing what they're supposed to do, and winning cars and all that kind of stuff. So it's really funny. Like the Golden Goose, how he ended up with like 4 cars at the end. So a lot of energy around that was coming up. Wedding crashers, kidnapping one from work to force them to go to a party and lighten up. Or if they don't come, it's like a group of friends or family bringing the party to him, and that could be a masculine. Or drunken crazy kids or young hoodlums crash the workplace, looting and partying, and that could be coming up, and of course that would piss somebody off. The wounded warrior may be offering the Queen of Pentacles a partnership, or she must take one of 9 of his burdens off of his plate, or he's leaving them. That was also coming up. Fighting with children out of control, twin flames reflecting and defenseless to the energies, destruction or construction, going on around the workplace, detouring traffic, or just stuck at work with no ride, after a sudden event, without an excuse, under the radar, fell off the horse, but the King of Cups is unconditionally loving, despite brokenness or a car accident or traffic issues. Also, attraction, worth waiting for, and new love. With Virgo upright, Cancer reversed, Scorpio reversed. Around them was the healing energy of the Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, who may be apologizing or coming clean and rising above in a breakup or lack of affection, with the Queen of Wands upright and the Queen of Cups reversed. And they may be 2 grown children with a mother who's like more of the star energy, or perhaps an Aquarius, or dreams coming true for the Empress or Taurus. With Gemini reversed, Aquarius and Taurus upright, and 3 blind mice were coming up. So that could be a mother and 2 children as well. Or the Empress or mother healing with grown daughters or their kids or pets. The Hermit reflecting and healing their heart, as the King of Cups is stuck at work, while the Queen of Cups reversed and Page of Cups with their mother, perhaps a grandmother, and friends are off having fun while they're hard at work. So it's that same old kind of story that's been coming up. Perhaps getting pets trained so there'll be less chaos at home, or kids getting in line for peace of mind, or catching up on messages. Also, what was coming up was, so the energy when I was going down to Charlotte, we saw a car that had turned over, and then we saw a truck that was burned. I was actually a little nervous driving by there because we didn't know if the truck had exploded or not. We just saw that it was burning and there was a fire truck next to it. But it had already been put out, but a lot of the truck had burned. It had holes in it. So a lot of trauma going down there. That was on the 11th, on 95. And then a disabled veteran was tailgating my son when he was driving, and then passed us and tried to run us off the road. And by the way, that was license plate DV. It was North Carolina. I don't know if it was an 8 or a B, and then 4 RI or R1, North Carolina. It was a maroon van, 88. It was 88 miles to Charlotte when that happened. So the 88 was significant for the twin flames. So again, like I said, that the hotel food there was amazing, like a real gourmet chef. It was beautiful and delicious. The presentation was amazing. We watched Forrest Gump that night. So that a lot of that energy of the innocence of a child, whether it were children's silly movies or Forrest Gump, where, he's very vulnerable. The fear of being seen as stupid came up, as well as red eye. That was literally a restaurant we went to, but red eye was coming up a lot in the cars before I left. And then a lot of heat. We had beautiful weather, but it was very hot in Charlotte and in Charleston and Atlanta. Oh, and when we checked into Charlotte Hotel. One of the girls at the desk was from the next town over from us, and actually, so in Philadelphia, they were from a town near me, and then she went to West Virginia, which is where my son works right now, and then she moved to North Carolina for no snow. So, you never know who you're going to meet when you start up conversations. So, and also the wounding of failure, and that can be in divorce as well, especially for the masculine, seeing that as a failure, right? Not leaving a marriage even though it's miserable or unhappy, because then they'd be deemed a failure. So again, there's ego. A lot of watcher's energy, again, being neutral and watching things going on as opposed to participating in them, or perhaps people watching you. I sewed a button on for my son on the way back down, so it could be like patching things up, fixing things, a lot of going back and repairing things as opposed to starting new things, staying on the sacred journey, the energy of staying on that path never before followed, like Arthur's Knights and the quest for the Holy Grail, that you must enter the dark forest of the soul by unknown route in order to find what you seek. Commit to your heart and sacred endeavor, and keep your quest private so it can manifest. Be happy and allow things to unravel and reveal. And again, the energy of the Golden Gates and taking the Route 33 of the Christ or Unity Consciousness to the Golden Gate, which is like the 66 and the spiral energies, to the 99 of Great Compassion, from the Magdalena, the scalloped cake, which is also the Mary Magdalene energy, of the life bulb of the uterus to the light bulb of the third eye, or the pineal gland, in the mother of all creation. The energy of the place of entry and exit. So again, the portal is coming up as the mouth, and then for the feminine is the vaginal canal, the portal of birth. The place of entry and exit, the deposit and the trash, because that could be the pooper as well. And the quantum twin flame energy, push and pull, all at the same time. And that leap of faith that it will all work out fine, even though logic tells you a head shouldn't fit through there. Just like, so saying, just like you can't imagine a head could fit through there and giving birth, it's the same thing as what you see. Even though logic tells you one thing, doesn't mean that's the truth. Finding her truth is the call of the wild, an automatic signal to the carpenter bee, or the Jesus Christ energy, which is the template of the twins, that it's time to magically pollinate the buttercup yellow of Mary Magdalene. The energy of trying new angles and arcs of rainbow colors through the valley with no shadow at all. In the dawn of a new day, a high vibe welcome back, and I was just getting welcome back Cotter, in the phased array of the sun, which came up just before the video as the feminine being so brightly in the sun that it's difficult for the masculine to look. The pure compassion of communication and passion. Cation is a connection, and then the ion of passion. The calm uni, which is funny because when your email's old, you come up as a uni, U-N-I. The calm uni of positively charged past connection was coming up as calm uni pass or easy pass, which we were using easy pass all the way down. So Jesus and Mary Magdalene coming up, Mother Earth, Terra Gaia, the mother and their rod and staff, the sword from the stone, meditating the bee, big bird, the birds and the bees, the triumph of unconditional love and living in one's truth, and the calling out to shower in the sun's rays in the valley of the sun. And then that was coming up as his territory. It was weird. At 7:02 p.m., I did a random unknown animal read quick on the 12th. And the confirmation for a flight that I had booked came up with connecting with the word jolt, because there was this energy coming up as the wolf being surprised that the scorpion's sting was actually positively charged, giving the raccoon a jolt, right? And the raccoon's very depressed in this deck, not even interested in their trash anymore with a mask on. And there could be some intestinal disturbances too, nervousness or upset stomach. And that could be whether it's because of anxiety or because you're not eating right, like going out on a trip and eating out all the time. You end up not eating right or not what your stomach is used to. So in Charlotte, we walked around town, but there was nothing interesting besides food around town. So of course we went outside the city to Lake Norman. We went to Birkdale Village, and we took a long walk from the shopping center there to get to the lake to see it. And we just sat at the lake. We kind of had to sneak in there because it was private property, but there was an apartment complex there that we kind of snuck into. So enjoyed some time right there. And also, I was kind of looking at the North Carolina area because I'd never been there before. And the weather's good in North Carolina, so I was always kind of curious to see if it would be somewhere I'd like to be. But Lake Norman has a nuclear plant on it, even though it's a beautiful place. The homes were really cute, and the shopping area that I was in was, kind of upscale, really beautiful. It was a beautiful walk. It was just deathly hot, though, when we walked to the lake. I'm surprised I actually made it. So on the 13th, my son was sleep talking, which he doesn't normally do. And he literally said, it was at 6:18 a.m., and after the ghost tour, I didn't sleep all night that night. And so I was up all night sending some of the pictures to our ghost tour person because she had asked me to. And my son at 6:18 a.m. said Charles and Edel A. He had said something else too that I didn't catch. I forgot what it was. But I looked up Charles and Edel A this morning, and it came up as a couple of different things. There's two different men who came up around 72, 73 years old, named Charles Edel. It's Adel. But when I put in ADEL, a female Czech Republic, online person came up, joined April 30th, 19. And then Charles Edel came up very significantly in politics. He's a senior fellow and visiting scholar at U.S. Studies Center and author of a recent report on the American presidency. Previously was associate professor of strategy and policy at the U.S. Naval War College and served on the U.S. Secretary of State's policy planning staff from 15 to 17. He also advised Secretary of State Curry on political and security issues in Asia and Pacific region, and there was a quote there from him saying that the U.S. would be wise to follow investing in ensuring that the Pacific nations retain their independence and their freedom. He was also Australian chair and senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, and there was a quote on lessons from Ukraine for deterrence against China, and that was in 2022, so he's still very current. And then another Charles A. Edel came up as the date of birth being 1844 to 1917. So he would have been very old. So of course, I opened that. And I think it was a typo because they actually said 73 years old. So 1844 probably should have been 1944. And that was in the Bronx, New York. And then another Charles Edel came up around the same age at 73, but on 319 Railroad Avenue in Shrewsbury, PA. And he lived in Lancaster as well. But all of his address and his phone numbers were all listed, so maybe he wants a call from somebody. Maybe he's lonely, but he's still alive. So if you want to check him out, you can. So then it was June 14th. It was the full moon. And that was the night I didn't sleep. And I was listening to one of the readers I sometimes listen to, Cindy, and she had posted, I couldn't sleep, so I went online, to entertain myself. And she had posted something that was just like a minute or two long, which she doesn't normally do. So of course I went in there to check it out, and it was 4:44, and it was a song by the band Frozen Ghost, dream come true, and it literally made me cry. She just gave a couple little blips from the song, but 4:44 in the morning after I hadn't slept all night, it was really touching, a touching message. So you might want to check that out. She's a spiritual ascension. I always forget. She's awakened. Shoot, give me 1 second. I'll tell you. All right, Cindy, where are you? So she's awakening to spirit. She reads cards. She's very funny, actually. She's in Canada. But she's the one who brought up, you can listen to that song if you want. That was on the, I think it was on the 13th to the 14th that night. Really beautiful song. But you can just look it up on YouTube too. This song is by the band Frozen Ghost, and it's called Dream Come True. It's really beautiful. So check that out. All right, so 6:14. And then we jumped, I went to Atlanta on the 14th to the 17th and had some fun with my daughter. She was tired because she was just off for a day or two and had stuff to get done between work because she's very busy at work. But we went out to dinner with her and her roommate, and it was so cute, them out to dinner, because my daughter was sitting in between the two of them. And they don't look anything alike. But literally, I said something, and they both laughed and covered their mouths at the same time, exactly the same way. And it was so cute, as my daughter's sitting in between them. And they actually all have, my daughter and her friend are both Pisces, and my son's Scorpio, but he's got Pisces moons. So it's like these three Pisces, and they were just reflecting each other. It was so cute. The Cal Fullerton came up on the 15th. Let's see what else. And then my birthday and my daughter's birthday came up. My daughter's birthday is 3/14. And it wasn't coming up until we were in Atlanta, but it's like my daughter couldn't go with us to Charleston, and she wanted to initially. So as soon as we were at Atlanta and left, it's like 3/14 kept coming up everywhere because she was insinuating herself upon us. It was hysterical. So when we got to Charleston, our room was 314, which was her birthday. And I started writing my notes in the room 314 at 314. So she definitely wanted to be there with us. And we had fun. Oh, by the way, on the way home too, when I looked down at the miles, it was 314:33. And my son was cracking up by then too, because I'd said 314 so many times. Something else that happened on the way down, 16 and 18 kept coming up together. And I verbalized that to my son. 16 and 18 keep coming up together, and I couldn't figure out why. And then when I got home, it's so weird because I never used my landline. And when I switched phone companies, I wanted to keep my old phone number. And they said they would. But I never used it, so I didn't pay attention to what the number was. And then I was looking at my statement last year, and I realized that it's not my same phone number. It's a whole different number. And I still couldn't remember what it was when I came home. And I thought, well, maybe I should check messages on there, because I never do, because I don't use that line. I just use my cell phone. But I said, well, I should at least know the number because I'm paying for it. So I looked up my statements, and my number was 1618. It was crazy because I never even bother with my phone. I don't use that phone at all. I just use it, have it for emergencies. So that was kind of crazy. So 16 and 18 were coming up, which is the Tower and the Moon. Both very kind of harsh energies. Well, it can be, right? Scorpio and Cancer, so very watery energies as well. So let's see what else was coming up. Cataract surgery came up, or someone putting a very small hole, kind of like angiography, where they don't open somebody up, but just make a small hole to get in there. So eye surgery or some kind of interventional radiology procedure, perhaps. And then again, 314 came up again on the 18th. And Pretty Woman came up as well in Charleston, which was interesting too, which I didn't notice before, because, you know, it's with Richard Gere. And then Richard Gere was famous for American Gigolo, which was the same kind of part. Like here she was playing a hooker and then he was a hooker. So I forgot that there was that parallel there. And then Father's Day came up on the 19th. And the day added up to 31-4, which is, again, 3-1-4, pi, again. And Toast All Day, the restaurant, came up in Charleston. And All Is Fair in Love and War. PTSD was coming up, but not just PTSD, but PT and SD. So the sky, the heavens, a break, it's like breaking the heavens open was coming up regarding that energy, as well as patient to become clothed, point of self-destruction, physical therapy tale, Portuguese tale, personal trainer, standard deviation or definition came up, as well as the International Oscars 2021, because Portugal was newly getting indoctrinated into the international Oscars along with South Africa and Sudan, the latest countries to make submissions to the 2021 international Oscars race. Withstanding the pressure, not giving up, finding a way through the maze to the center, and allowing the weight of the world by being at the center of it all. Also, KMF came up in symbols from one of the cards. Also KF, which means obsidian. So obsidian was coming up, as well as the ellipsis of KF94 mask, which is a Korean filtered mask. And 1, 2, 3, 4 shut the door on the 19th. And on the 19th, also 144 was coming up between my son and I. And then on the 19th is when we took the cruise on in Charleston, which was a beautiful day. And then there's kind of song messages coming up on the radio on the way home, which were funny. So the day that we left, no, actually this was going from Charleston to Virginia Beach. That's when I got those sun pictures that I showed you out the window. But the songs that came up were first Jamie's Crying, and then Carry On Wayward Son, where it says, Don't You Cry No More, and then The Eye of the Tiger. So there's all these messages coming up in the words. They were pretty funny right in a row. And the movies Mona Lisa Smiles and Coming to America. And by the way, in Coming to America, Eddie Murphy's room was 5D. Pretty funny. So the 21st was when we got home. And this is the read on the table here. That was the read was cut and dealt at 642, which is the 6 of the Lovers, the 42 of the 2 of Cups. And that was for the energy for the 21st, basically to the 23rd. The 649, which is the Lovers and the Get Your Wish card, the 9 of Cups, at wheel came up, which of course I was at the wheel for, a week and a half basically, because we were driving a lot. But also festation came up, as in there could be not infestation, but festation, as in celebration. I finished clarifying at 709, which is the Chariot and the 9 of the Hermit. And the major arcana were Justice, Karma. Karma is like the Judgment card. Reason is the Emperor, the Hanging Man, and the Great Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune. Before the read was the Starseed, or the Fool, and the Star. And after the read, the Chariot came up. There was 1 Pentacle, 4 Wands, and then 1 Cup. There were no swords in the main cards of the read, and it was coming up as 141, which can reflect the 14 and the 41, reflecting each other, which is the higher love, and the Ace of Cups, which is the self-love, spiritual love, and new love. The court cards in the read: Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Queen of Cups. Before the read was the Page of Swords. So like I said, there's a lot of child energies or message energies here. That can be pets as well. And the King of Pentacles came up after the read. The double numbers were 33 and 77. And 77 came up more than once. So kind of like that divine timing energy was coming up with the 77. And the 33, of course, is the Christ vibration, which makes sense. The 37 is unconditional love of the King of Cups. 56 was also significant in this read, of the Two of Swords, being in your knowing, keeping your energy clear, perhaps to yourself and just watching. We also had 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Wands. 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the Loyal Humble Servant. The 78 of the Ten of Pentacles, the end of the deck, and that dream family of heaven on earth. And then in a lesser sense, 10, just a reminder to keep that energy high. The code line was all about manifestation, and the number 5, which is freedom, change, and expansion, as well as the Hierophant, which can be about commitment and guidance and societal norms. And the code line was all about, Sophia was coming up, but as well as south to southeast area, which was funny because I went south and southeast. With that 5 energy, reflecting IV flow of creation, seeing the key in divine justice, and the queen or the wisdom of changing man in the X or the dance, wise of the whispering bench, the hanging man of X. It's like Racer X I'm getting now. But the X is also the two twins leaning into each other, an eighth each instead of a quarter one way, which would then become the same structure or symbol. But if you change the lines just an eighth, they come together like an X in the eighth dance, the dance of the twins between the masculine and the feminine. Also the word Mani, M-A-N-I, and Man X came up. So again, like Racer X, the mystery man. But also this can be relating to someone's ex as well. The Sophia in a sudden event. The Hierophant or 5, seeking energy and seeing the key in divine justice. The Queen being clear or wise of changing in the Isle of Man also came up, which has to do with Ireland. That's not part of, it's crowned by UK, but it's not owned by, it's not actually UK. And it also means the tailless cat. So the cat without a tail, which is funny because my daughter's puppy, Teddy, is an Australian Shepherd, so it's a tailless dog. And a cat can reference a man as well. SSE was coming up, which references if and only if in math. Also was coming up to suck or to suckle. And there's a vulgar definition, which you can imagine what that is. And then Manx, M-A-N-X, is tailless. The Manx language is Gaelic, and that's the Isle of Man as well. The Manx cat, which is the one without a tail. And again, the Celtic Germanic people of the Isle of Man. And the poetic mind also coming up here. If and only if she, to suckle and changing an energetic energy key, divine justice and clear of changing cat or Irish Gaelic without a tail, or changing Gaelic language, a peanut festation or ancestral spirit, or in-law festation, every day, summer madness, poems, sperm, and clitoris, the egg cell. So there's a lot about sex in the summer and summer madness. And also it looks like someone's irritated because their in-laws are always around every day. Sophia seeing changes, or Sophia's poetic mind creates, seeing the key in divine justice, wise of course. That can be wise of course, or wise of in their path, hanging without tail, right? So how do you hang without a tail? Hanging in the Isle of Man, wise of the sea, the sea of the ocean with your eyes, and then the sea of the Christ consciousness, or the whispering bench. And the hanging man's ex's family festation. So again, this in-law festation. So constantly partying, perhaps. South Sea changes also, or the South is seeing changes. Expansion, freedom, and seeking energy of divine justice. Wise and clear, of course, in path of seeing new perspectives or another way of wisdom. So again, it's coming up as being the South being the example of having come out of slavery and having to humble themselves and see a new perspective on things. Also the X dance coming up, the dance of the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Cups hanging out with X manifesting together, or Mary Magdalene and JC together multiplies the manifestation as the twins come together in summer madness. The names Lucy and Alice came up, as well as the in-law festation. If and only if the 5 of freedom, change, and expansion, or the Hierophant, seek energy of divine justice with the twins manifesting, and then south, southeast again, reflecting creation, seeing the justice in the twin flame manifestations of the Mary Magdalene Jesus Christ template. So at 8:10, which is the dance of high vibration, we started out with the Page of Pentacles upright. Beneath that was the Starseed upright, which is like the Fool. So there's that bottom card right there with the mini cards on top. The 7 of Wands was upright, 7 of Pentacles reversed. There's that 7-7 again. The Page of Swords reversed and the Star reversed, which can reference someone with Aquarius in their chart as well. A big download here to the crown, or perhaps knocked on the head, to stand up and be counted and implement a plan. With the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps with Aquarius in their chart, and the Page of Pentacles, curious one, or negative self-talk causing some depression, but the Page of Pentacles with an interest in a new manifestation. After a death, dark night, or an ending, or near-death experience, the never-ending story, the Knight of Cups is reversed as well as the Page of Swords reversed, may be dissatisfied or without peace, dumping multiple loads, emotional attachments, or confusion, in need of hope with the Queen of Pentacles upright here, which also can represent a parent here of the children, or perhaps a teacher who's very stable when the kids are not. And we have the Page of Pentacles upright with the 9 of Pentacles reversed, which can be 2 siblings, but one may be independent who's younger, and the older one may be still dependent, or maybe they're really spendy. That could be a boy and a girl as well. So at war with the Chariot upside down and the Moon upside down, a broken romance perhaps, or stuck in deception, or double Cancer reversed, and that could reference the disease as well. Perhaps it's grown or it's overwhelming, or working to end the suffering in silence, or dealing with a sister, or sleepless nights, or just stressed out, nightmares. With the 10 of Cups upright, happy ending of the family, releasing the Hanging Man, trying, and again, that was coming up in the header too, as like canceling out the Hanging Man. So the Hanged Man may be released, trying to be wise about falling out in the past, a negative past or difficult kids, and the past now returning with justice for a dependent or in a payout. Aries upright, Aquarius, Scorpio, Cancer reversed, and Capricorn or Pisces upright here, with Libra upright here as well. The Knight of Cups reversed could have Scorpio in their chart, and the Page of Swords reversed could have Aquarius in their chart. The Page of Pentacles is with the Queen of Pentacles, but not the Sovereign reversed, or the older child, who may be more dependent. Definite Capricorn here, and others with Capricorn in their chart, so a lot of Capricorn energy between the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles, Sovereign reversed. The Queen of Pentacles may very well be a Capricorn with 2 to 4 children here, with lots of earth energy, Scorpio, Aquarius, perhaps children of divorce, or in court, or with Libra or Justice stepping down off platform to be with kids or family, or repair or falling out with soul tie, whether that's children or their twin flame. Pisces or Capricorn and Libra, or all 3 working it out. The Hanging Man hanging out under a tree, powerless to work issues, or working with a child or dependent, or tired of putting time, money, and effort into a failing business, or one that no longer makes you happy. And it could be someone who's just bored. And it could be issues with children too. There's definitely that energy, like I said before, of someone between the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands reversed, and that could be a fire energy. But it could also be the Queen of Pentacles, who could have fire in her chart. After a reunion or social time, perhaps the curtains are pulled back to recoup time or money spent on vacation, needing to earn more money or spent too much, or tired, and that could be kids spending a lot, or tired of spending, it's no longer satisfying for you anymore. So again, your needs are changing as your vibration rises. Exchanging money for goods, for good emotions, but now not like, it's like getting too much of a good thing, like not needing those good emotions anymore, but in an old way, is no longer called for. There's now a need to balance work, play, and pray. What made you happy is no longer doing so. So now finding the new things that do make you happy so that you can focus on those things. Letting go control issues, and beneath that release your ex. As the Emperor is upright, unable to crack them, or vice versa, right? Someone's not giving it up. The Page of Wands reversed, refusing to speak or tell. And the Hermit reversed, going nuts or coming out with results of an inspection or hostage situation. Looking at every inch, inspecting the merchandise, or no longer trusting what they say they did. And now they have to check every little bit of work that they do. Or if they tell them to do something, they have to check every time instead of trusting that they're going to do it. Which I experienced that energy recently as well. The Emperor upright and the Page of Wands reversed. Unable to trust a child or someone who acting like a child. The Hermit reverse may be coming out, or maybe you're dealing with someone who's got Alzheimer's or dementia, or Virgo is coming out about feeling trapped, or that their hands are tied, and this could be a fire energy as well, with difficult past or kids at present, or all about the feet or toe. Maybe someone's taking ballet at 8:53, which is the dance of the Knight of Swords. The Messenger of Truth, or the Knight in Shining Armor, and it's 11:38 on the clock, which is that Mary Magdalene energy of the Queen of Cups. And it was just 1:01:01 here on the clock. 01:01:01. So at 8:55, which is the dance of the truth, or the Emperor tying them down until they come clean. It's like, brothers, pinning one down until the other one says give. The Emperor's tying them down until they come clean about the past or about what they did, the truth, right? Kids not wanting to fess up to what they did. With Aries upright, Pisces or Capricorn upright, and Virgo reversed, and a fiery child. Domestic harmony with 46, which again is the children either acting up or the past, perhaps the past returning. And beneath that, parenting. So again, some suffering in silence or stress or sleepless nights because of parenting and trying to create domestic harmony with children or pets, or adults acting like children. A negative past of suffering in silence due to kids, or childhood. Someone's past childhood may be coming up, or parenting your parents. We have depression, home, calling, or a wake-up call, an announcement to be free to leap at night or into a romance, struggling to see a way out for bliss, and now that the worst is over, of a hostage situation, a trap, where the more they howled, the tighter the chains got. The crab with lobster claws, as opposed to their own, right, faking who they are, with red beady eyes, so there's the red eye coming up, and boots to match. Trying to escape dark energies, barking dogs, or being chased up a tree. And by the way, I think they're doing work out on the streets again because it felt like there was drills underneath the ground here, which is a weird feeling. So again, energy. When I got home, because I replaced my water heater back in December because it broke all over the basement, which you all know because I told you about it. So now the carpet's all down and everything. And now my air conditioner, which has been going for the past years, and we've been able to keep it going. I wasn't able to keep it going anymore, so I had to get a new air conditioner before I left. And then I was worried, after the air conditioner was here, then the water heater started dripping, which is not supposed to do. So then I had to call them back. And I called both of them, and they came back, and they put the overflow tank in there, and then tested the pressure, which was really high because they did work on the street last night on our water lines last year, which probably increased the pressure a lot. So now there was a really high pressure rate coming into the house, so they had to put a pressure release valve at the water main. So they had done that. And then when I got home, when I started doing some laundry, where they put the pressure release valve is the water meter, and now the water meter was leaking water all over the place, so that was coming out and making the carpet wet. But fortunately, I got someone out from the water company, came right away and changed the water meter. But there's still some pressure issues, but it might be a valve since all the pressure's changed coming into my equipment. So you see what I've been dealing with the water. So I'm wondering if any of you have been dealing with a lot of water issues as well. So, but everything's working out well. It's just taking it as it comes. Aquarius upright and reversed. So trying to escape dark energies, the barking dogs or being chased up a tree, with Aquarius upright and reversed, Aries upright, Pisces or Capricorn upright, Cancer upright here, and home things going on at home. Perhaps one here is depressed and judging, One may be free, one's trying to escape, and another is romantic or a night owl, experiencing bliss and relief of pain. The bliss of the Page of Pentacles, who's curious about powerlessness, or the Sovereign reversed with issues at work or siblings not getting along, perhaps with a bad childhood or a negative past, or a falling out between soulmates or best friends or siblings, or the need of domestic harmony in general here at 9:05, which is the Hermit and the Hierophant, which is Virgo and Taurus. And then 9:18 came up after that, which is my birthday. So that's relating to your birthday and what that means here. We have the recent reunion of Justice and Patience, or Libra and Sagittarius, present to withholding or saving for a new life, waiting for their ship to leave in order for them to go forward, playing hardball or withholding, refusing to help unless they spill, present to the Knight of Swords reversed with something to say but holding back, and sharing with the King of Wands, or the King of Wands may be overhearing and listening in like a cup to the wall. They could be spying or listening in on someone who refused to give them the information, but he's spying on them to hear what they're talking about with somebody else. The price paid for freedom, getting there just in the nick of time at 9:46, which is the Hermit and the Six of Cups, this children loving each other or being difficult or returning from the past. And the recent past being karma reversed, or perhaps someone's karma getting reversed. The Queen of Cups reversed, perhaps getting over loss or regret to implement a plan with third party destined to try to manipulate the justice system. Healing, getting over it to implement a plan, but then needing to swallow their pride as well and surrender, perhaps turning themselves in. The foundation here is the Three of Wands upright, the gift, the King of Wands listening in to the one refusing to tell or admit they know about an offer of love from a fallen angel or ex, or a patient Page of Cups, puppy love, temptation, and working hard to ignore it, out in the cold with the Queen of Wands looking the other way. The central energy is the Page of Wands reversed, perhaps rejecting sex, or a player or frustrated child, Libra upright without tools, insecure, and Taurus free, or Taurus Aries settling out at present with that Libra energy. The Page of Wands reversed destined to commitment and freedom and equality in gifts and presence, right? Being equal in a relationship at 9:57, which is that separation or disappointment. The challenge being divine justice in letting go of working hard but insecure without tools, or the tools, emotional tools perhaps needed, and coming clean about failure, and again letting go of ego and pride, letting go of neediness or a bad reputation or being shady about things, healing in secret from disconnect or at a distance in a relationship, and the Knight of Cups reversed, perhaps jealousy issues with the Queen of Wands upright, healing heart, or the King of Swords reversed, whose world is upside down, or with the Divine Feminine 5D and fending off unwanted advances, present to romantic tie, sunshine, exposure, and then sunshine came up right before the video of the feminine being intimidating to the masculine. So here the romantic tie of sunshine and exposure of big love through work, the Page of Cups upright unable to express their emotions or feelings of having no options here at 10:52, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Swords. So now, presently, crowning is the Six of Wands reversed. Failure, neediness, and defending actions of lovers and the devil, synchronicities and bliss. So there's lovers upright and the devil upright. So both the same card, both the shadow and the light, the synchronicities and the bliss of it, the uncomfortableness of the deception, and working to rise above, perhaps sexual abuse and the inability to function when you're emotionally not set. And then we had the Ace of Pentacles reversed with the Strength card reversed. Saving, needing strength, the satisfaction with the King of Wands upright, with the Ten of Cups family, letting go. No need to save the world here. Home, no more vampiring or energy stealing, refusing to be silenced. The Empress reversed with the King of Pentacles upright, no longer obsessing over weaknesses and exposing themselves or kids' weaknesses. With Leo upright and reversed, and fun in the sun, ending stress or getting some sleep finally, allowing self to be out of control and destined. Perhaps for someone who doesn't believe in that kind of stuff is now getting it. And soon here is the Queen of Cups reversed after presenting the truth, under the radar, release from anxiety or from imprisonment, conflict, or competition. As the King of Swords reversed, which can be Gemini or Aquarius more likely, or Virgo reversed, and manipulation here, with the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Swords reversed, triumphing over fears. With the Page of Pentacles, which is that curious student or intern type of energy, or getting something new, a new manifestation off the ground or opportunity, perhaps an invite, and the wounded warrior surrendering to the Page of Wands reversed, dropping the ball. So again, there's this play between the Page of Pentacles upright and the Page of Wands reversed, dropping the ball. Perhaps a turnover in a game or lost control of the ball. And the Nine of Cups reversed is reflecting unhappy, losing the play or losing the game, and depressed. So this could be the Page of Wands reversed, falling into their ego, right? Because they lost to the Page of Pentacles. And now the Page of Pentacles may be trying to give them a gift or a tip. And perhaps a tip was given to two people, but one didn't share with the other. Or just they don't want the tip from them because of ego. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Five of Wands reversed, of ending conflict or losing. The Six of Cups reversed in a falling out or negative past, or two in need of rescue as the Knight of Wands rushes in to save the day, leaving a lover behind, not expressing their true feelings about them leaving them behind to go save other people, and the King of Cups reversed with conditions, emotionally unavailable or with Cancer in their chart, or the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed are done their trip or immediately with other conflicts to attend to, with the Knight of Wands and their help rushing in to save the day. Playfulness, and again, it's allowing others to help you, like letting go of your ego to allow someone else to save you when you can't save yourself. That's okay when you're in need. So again, the people who are always the one that are saving others need to learn to allow others to save them as well when they need it, right? We're trying to be independent here, but nobody can do everything on their own. There would be no point to having all of us on this earth if we weren't going to help each other out. But for everyone, it's different, right? Because for the one who always saves the day, they need to stop saving the day and allow someone else to save them. For the one who always gets saved, they need to stop doing that and saving others, or learn to save themselves. So again, it's about the polarities and coming back to the middle. So whatever your polarity is, to look to the opposite in order to come back to the middle and balance again. With playfulness, trust, and chemistry, with Gemini, Cancer reversed, and Sagittarius upright, around the twins are how they're seen is the Emperor upright with reason after an event or a sudden event, or perhaps choked or spoke too soon, with no delivery or return to sender. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy, or the world at large, which can represent heaven on earth, suddenly coming out to end the pain or give a massage to someone to help them relieve their pain. With Aries upright, Aquarius reversed, Scorpio upright, and Virgo reversed, and blocked by the Hanging Man upright, perhaps with a right knee block, which can be anger on the masculine side. Pisces or Capricorn unable to perform, juggle, or unable to distract others from their issues because now they need to take care of themselves or get someone to help them. Manifestation comes up, as well as the green environment, perhaps caught with their pants down or the plumber's crack. The Two of Cups reversed and disconnect or at a distance, or two fooling around and got caught at 642, which is how 42 is written, 42/6, which is the Lovers and the Two of Cups. And then destined, or Libra without options, as the King of Wands may be released from energy stealing and no longer keeping quiet after the Page of Wands reversed, who could be any of the fire signs, the Page of Wands reversed, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, may be dissatisfied, and the Queen of Wands upright may be jealous and or impatient in offering love to the King of Wands because it looks like he's ignoring her. The King of Wands with attention on the Page of Pentacles, who's curious, or it could be on the Sovereign energy, who's reversed and perhaps dependent or out spending money. He may be focusing on one or both of them. The Page of Swords, Aquarius, is jealous And Aries or Fool is free defending their ground or their territory, implementing a plan, or the Divine Feminine's heart opening up here. The Page of Swords reversed depressed or message withheld from the Page of Pentacles. And the Sovereign reversed or their older sibling, or Scorpio and Aquarius both depressed about the Queen of Pentacles who's upright with 2 kids, the Page of Pentacles upright and the Sovereign reversed, or 3 siblings or earth signs of the 10 of Pentacles family, business, or community. Destined King of Pentacles, emotionally fulfilled or happiness with family on his own. And here, they're at 2 different ends here. The King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles are not together here, but they're both upright. One's at the beginning of the read, the other's at the end of the read. The Sovereign reverse looks like they're with the King of Pentacles now, whereas they both started out with the Queen of Pentacles in the beginning. So they could each have 1 kid staying with them or taking care of them or divide and conquer, so to speak. Dependent 9 of Pentacles reversed may be destined with the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Perhaps returning from travels or stuck and broken or broke up, down, in, or out through releasing themselves from anxieties, but not coming together. Or they release themselves from anxiety by not coming together with the Emperor upright here at the end. Or the King of Pentacles broke after release from jail due to bad influence of the Emperor who's upright here, or stuck together but in their separate corners, the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. Or is the Emperor the King of Pentacles? That could be as well. At 703, which is the Chariot and the Empress, and the Emperor's reversed in the read, the Page of Pentacles upright is present to a losing battle with the Emperor, or reasoning, right? The Page of Pentacles is upright here. But they can't, it seems like they can't win with the Emperor, right? Because they're the Emperor. And there may be karma reversed or holding back an announcement of bliss, or that the worst is over. As the Page of Wands, it could be Taurus, Aries, Libra, Sag, or Leo here, challenged by justice, or Libra, with the Queen of Cups reversed, hanging out or hung out to dry or left hanging under the radar, perhaps with a bad reputation, or failure and destined for the King of Pentacles to be with the 10 of Cups, happy family, or his own emotional fulfillment, perhaps driving or travel anxieties and released by not coming together with the Emperor. The Page of Pentacles may be curious, and this Page of Pentacles can be the King of Pentacles as the child of the Emperor, and that could be also 3 generations of the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is curious on how to reverse karma to get bliss. This also could be an Aquarius reversed. Present to the Page of Wands is failures and challenged by justice. So it's like the Page wants to help out the Page of Wands, and they may be very sincere about this, but the Page of Wands' ego is getting in the way. The challenge being justice or Libra in a losing battle with the Queen of Cups reversed, or someone with Cancer in their chart, or with dealing with Cancer, perhaps, and the Emperor or reason hanging out with Libra, King of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups family, or the Emperor, Capricorn or Pisces, destined to step down to be the King of Pentacles with their family instead of work, and breaking up and releasing from socializing with the Emperor as well. At 713 is the Chariot and the Death or Transition card. Also, we have the King of Swords reversed here. Aquarius may be keeping the Queen of Cups reversed out of the way so that the Page of Pentacles can give the Page of Wands reversed an offer that they can't refuse. The King and Queen of Cups are both reversed here and next to each other and may be in a breakup here. And the Queen of Swords is also over the Knight of Wands, who's rushing in to save the day and triumphing. Or maybe the Knight of Wands was trumping her information and she's over it. The King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords could also be lawyers for the King and Queen of Cups, or whoever may be going through a breakup here. There could be, but it looks like everyone's involved in each other's business. So whatever couple's breaking up here, it's like their parents are involved and their siblings are involved, or their sister and their husband are involved, or whatever it is. They're all like in their business. So the King and Queen of Cups are reversed, or vice versa, right? So maybe the Queen of Cups are the lawyers, and the Swords are the ones breaking up. But they're all reversed there. We have Libra upright with Virgo or Gemini, and Taurus upright with Aries or Libra could be settling out. Scorpio and Aquarius, both reversed, could be jealous of the Page of Pentacles opportunity, or child or intern, that they're gifting to the Page of Wands reversed to get them to drop the act. Aries or Emperor may be hanging out with Libra or King of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands reverse may be challenged by Justice of the Queen of Cups reverse hanging out without them, and she could be the one in between the two kids. The Queen of Cups reversed may have Aquarius and or Sagittarius in their chart and may be getting over the loss or regret by investing in a third party destined, Libra with Virgo in their chart, or investing in not coming together with Libra or until it's the right timing, needing to manifest justice or a divorce first. The Queen of Cups reverse is likely Pisces or with Scorpio or Cancer in their chart, or Sagittarius, Aquarius. The Queen of Cups reverse could be between the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles upright could be a Taurus with Aquarius and or Aries in their chart, and the King of Pentacles Libra, and they're splitting up. There's definitely a Libra and a Taurus in the middle of the read. They're both upright, but it looks like they're going, one's freeing themselves and the other one is feeling insecure or without the tools to deal with the situation. The Emperor's upright apart from the Empress reversed, and the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are both upright, but they're not looking towards each other. They're together in the same area, but she's looking away and he's looking at something else. They're not facing each other. The King and Queen of Cups are both reversed, and the King and Queen of Swords in a losing battle at 733 of the Chariot and that unity consciousness. Yeah. Okay, so that was that. Let me show you the pictures of those reads. All right, so this is the read on the table that I just did. Okay, that's the 7-deck read, and I'm going to now give you the read for the Shaman Dreams, which here's the underlying energy, and then it goes across the way the cards came out and down, and then this is a pile of cards I had to count at the end, the way it came out. And then here is the Nature's Whispers. I did a quick read for that. That's really quick. Okay, and again, the same energy of the underlying energy here and then going across. And this is a pile of cards counted as well at the end. All right, so with Shaman Dreams, the farther gate was the underlying energy with 55 in the truth and a bold step forward. Beneath that was the 28 of the hollow bone and teachability. The twin flame truth, the bones like of the house or of your structure. Underlying need to walk towards your future, marching in place, stirring up dust, but not getting anywhere, and now needing to move forward. An ending is at hand. You can leave the old behind and shed your skin. Cross the threshold boldly and you will be rewarded. If you continue marking time instead of moving, you'll miss an opportunity. The gate is open and do not dally. The gift of the farther gate is to bring you the fullest expression of your gifts, perhaps for the first time. Invite to sacred passage, new discovery, and both great challenges and opportunities. It is not a graduation. There are no rewards. It is just about self-exploration. The farmer has been a farmer too long with little fruit, and it's time to be the explorer again. The hollow bone, number 28, which 28 is the twin flames and choice of path, is the wing bone of the eagle, which is the flute for the shaman. Practicing humility with no need for an opinion, whether right or wrong, doesn't matter, in hollowing oneself, understanding nature's language and their message in the breeze. Believe only 50% of what others think and only 10% of what you think. Trust your experience, not what you have read, especially with sacred texts and things like that, to turn apparent danger into opportunity. You are insignificant as well as important as the brightest sun, which came up on the Divine Feminine in the beginning of the read, again in my meditation. Hollow or humble yourself and then step forward. The first card out here was Lost in Space with 36, which is the 10 of Wands, the Atlas energy of the weight of the world and needing direction. Residual light was coming up here, and the perfect storm of 44 of grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love, and the courage to step into life. And then the horseman of union and home to rescue, the herald of change at home and or in union, learning to receive help and love and be vulnerable as the Page of Cups in a mindful group think, right? Allowing other opinions. The truth of Atlas and grounding, integrating, and mastering the home and union, and the Page of Cups in your vulnerability and innocence. The King of Swords in 51 with stars in the sky with limitless possibilities. The masculine meditating in the middle of the bridge, and the feminine 52, Queen of Swords, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Home with the Page of Cups, a message of rescue perhaps, and the King and Queen of Swords with overflow of plenty, coming together with overwhelming plenty. And then the Hermit of 9 dancing on one foot to balance in the balancing act, and showing the other how to stretch perhaps with your yoga deck. On either side of the flood of plenty, the water meter leaking and making a loud noise like I told you about, and air in the pipes. It's kind of like they're giving you that visual of the body. Then prior to the pressure release, right, there's going to be some noise or acting up. The 43 and the 9, which was funny, they came up together here because that's my son's soul number, and then 9 is the Hermit, which I'm Virgo. So it's coming up as the relationship, and again, a lot about dealing with your children, whether they're grown or young, or whether you're dealing with your own inner child or your parents who are being like a child. The 19 of the Sun and the falling angel, the spiritual narcolepsy of sleepwalking, right, and falling back to sleep again. Allowing the fall in the Sun at 233, which is the High Priestess and the Christ or Unity Consciousness. Exposing all and allowing that. All you need to do is stop the fall. All you need to do to stop the fall is to spread your wings. Don't be seduced by fallen angels, supposed friends and companions ready to use you for their pleasure with only their own interests in mind. Study the forest from above the trees, a higher perspective, without entangling in the thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, head back to the heights and stand by. Wait until you're guided to change. Action now could backfire if you don't wait till your intuition kicks in. You will know when the time is right. And the perfect example was yesterday. I was kind of headachy and we weren't going to do much yesterday, but I needed to take my son out to get an errand done. But we weren't going to do it 'cause we both were kind of feeling tired after just getting back yesterday. And then all of a sudden, I got guided to take him to do it. And we had to go get a notary done, but we needed witnesses. And the very moment we came in for the witness, because it's just a private office where no one's usually in there except for the notary, 2 people walked in right behind us who were able to then witness the notary. So if you follow your intuition, things just work out really seamlessly. So at 240 is the High Priestess and the Page of Cups, with the number 2, and again the High Priestess, and the beloved of the fiery heart, the radical acceptance of the heart, the truth of the King of Swords and the High Priestess. The 62 of the imprisoning and the release, the will of the wisp and the treasures hidden in that. Finding a way out of this dark energy may bring you your wish. So maybe you couldn't have ever found your wish unless you went through that darkness first. The 49 of the getting your wish and the skywriting, the fates, the heart on fire and the will imprisoning. Getting your wish or satisfied in order to clarify what works for you and what doesn't. Then the 57 of the unmarked trail, the maze and the pressure, the seed and the center point, the revelation in disappointment, separation, and the revelation in the broken heart to get to the other side. The 15 of the dust devil and the shadow, to move out of stagnation, being shown the shadow side in order to move out of it. So again, it is about transcending. You have to, in order to transcend something, you have to go through it and into it to transcend it. It's like to have a belief system But it's a temporary belief system because you have to know it and understand it in order to transcend it to get to something else. You wouldn't have been able to get to that other belief system without going through this first belief system. So it's not like you're wrong. You had to be this one energy in order to get to another energy, allowing yourself to perpetually change. And it's all correct. There's nothing wrong about anything that you do. It gets you to the next place. The 33 of the Christ vibration, the unity consciousness, and the inspiration of the joyful muse. And remember, music is the muse of the inner child. Unity consciousness, creativeness, music, and art. And again, I was noticing for me, like I never listen to music at home because I play music at times, but I don't usually listen to it, but I always listen to music in the car. So maybe changing it up a bit and noticing what your patterns are in order to change those patterns. The 50 of the the 10 of cups, of that emotional fulfillment, especially of the family, and the spirit of the river, of movement toward an adventure and flow and fun, family enjoyment with the 5, and then closing the door in completion of a cycle. And again, once you've transcended something, you don't need it anymore. It's okay, let it go. Like hopefully no more water issues for me anymore. The 13 of transition, there were 13 cards here, which is death and transition, with the whale's song at the bottom of all of it, resonating with the 61, which is the card of risk, and at the top of all of it is the 42 of the 2 of cups, the netcaster, with preparations now coming to fruition after taking a risk. Dumping responsibilities, burdens, and loads for the Queen of Swords. Release is in music here, or in your muse, and the arts, expressing oneself in a creative way, grounding, integrating, and mastering the 43 of coming together, the 3 of cups, perhaps to get the wish of family happiness or emotional fulfillment. The horseman coming in with the 30 of union and home, of the 9 of hermiting, and the 57 of healing under pressure in order to get to the freedom and close the door. So just like the pressure in the pipes. You need to go through the shadow experience in order to get it cleaned up where it should be in the first place and have that freedom, expansion, and change. The Page of Cups upright, innocent, exposing the shadow of the way you may be seen. The 2 of Cups is coming up here as that one-on-one energy. And then the 61 of risk, which also happens to be the year of my birth, but the old whale in the bubble. The vortex, the gateway to here or there, because there's always 2 directions. Taking a risk to hover and float above without interfering on either side. Just connecting upon resonation only. With Pisces, Leo, and Capricorn, and perhaps Virgo and Taurus coming up here as well. With the King and Queen of Swords, and the Page of Cups and 10 of Cups, which was funny for me, because it can come up as anything for you guys, but when I looked at the King and Queen of Swords, I wouldn't normally think of my parents because they're gone, but they were both Geminis. And then the Page of Cups is that message of love of the 10 of Cups family, right? The legacy of your parents. However, the 2 swords energy come up the King and Queen of Swords because that can reference the masculine and the feminine as well. At 306, which is the Empress and the Lovers, which is also Taurus and Gemini coming up there. And however you see those characters there. So then I just did a quick read for Nature's Whispers. And that was at 10:55 to 56, which is a Wheel of Fortune and the Truth and the 2 of Swords, keeping your energy clear and your knowing, keeping yourself, which is kind of the messages coming up here, to stay on that fence at that portal and not interfere, but just observe. And when your knowing comes in, then take action, but then go right back to that neutral place again. The underlying energy of showing your support of the 40, which is the Page of Cups, and that innocence and puppy love. And underneath that was the 21 of completion and that fresh approach to vulnerability, and the 34 of energetic exchange, and that high vibe to show your support. The Page of Cups may be Pisces energy in an energetic exchange, or just that vulnerability and innocence of pure love. A fresh approach to vulnerability is to show your support. there's this energy of a pond with birds and flowers, which is just that beautiful energy of home, right? Because everyone kind of has a little bit of water and birds and flowers around them. The 1058 of the Wheel of Fortune and the twin flame connection in the 5D, that Four of Swords. The first card out was the 31 of chaos of the sun and being spontaneous, with the 26 of the Page of Wands and being true to your heart, that passion. To reach out to each other across the orange moon, which was coming up as the Jupiter moon, Ganymede. The fuzzy blonde with a beautiful glow, full of adventure, peacock, birds, ships and shells, butterflies and birds, and megaphone, which is coming up as a megaphone, which can be referenced as telepathy. The chaos of life that's inspiring, reaching out and touching someone with your telepathy, self-satisfaction in getting your wish, heightening your vitality, perhaps in your PJs. Perhaps you want to work in your PJs, or a color wheel, a mandala coming up, or a Mandela effect. The 33 of the Christ vibration, standing up when you're feeling vulnerable, but yet being gentle with yourself. A friend of the animals, which always can help you feel more grounded again. The 46 of the inner children loving each other, or the outer children loving each other, with gratitude and appreciation. The sweet little girl and her unicorn, the soulmates. And I met a unicorn once a couple years ago. It was an intense understanding that we knew each other. That soulmate connection. The 29 of the Three of Wands and being present in the moment, the contemplation of the present moment, the inner lion versus the butterfly and the freedom of the butterfly, right? With power comes much responsibility. The 36 of the Atlas energy and the intuition of going within instead of trying to work so hard without. The 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love, the ideal course of action. And then the 38, we have the King and Queen of Cups here, of acceptance of love. Then there were 11 cards of justice, truth, and balance and alignment. And at the bottom of it, the 18 of the moon and romance. The bouquet of you on a horse in a bouquet of flowers and butterflies and trees and home, of new experiences and possibilities. And at the top of it was the 47 of synchronicities and laughter, because we all laugh when we see the synchronicities. And the kids riding together with a magic wand, getting your wish with your soulmate and or your kids while they're still busy ascending or getting to a higher vibration. So those are the messages coming up for you. So I don't want to take too much more of your time since we're already at 1:37, but I do want to pull a few oracle cards for you. So let's see what comes up. All right, so with the sunshine. Sun. I'm getting John Denver with sunshine on my shoulders. I want to pull the unknown animal spirit guidebook deck. Let's see what comes up. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. So maybe spirit reminding me that I'm happy on vacation because we're out in the sun so much. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Like the pictures I showed you of the pink water, is so beautiful. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a day that I could give to you. There's the panther. So there's dark energy here of the growl, and this is like, impatience and losing your temper, or dark energies coming at you, right? Maybe targeting you, right? It's always darkest before the dawn. So the closer to union, remember, the darker the energy can get, right? Energy is trying to get in between you to block good things from coming together. So you may be noticing certain little blocks that way. And there's the tarantula, which in this deck is all about being at the crossroads. Are you going to be in the dark, or are you going to be in the light? And even with the tarantula, it's that red, orange, yellow of the lower chakra system. And it's a bear. The sun is a bear when it's really hot. That's so funny because sunshine was just coming up. And the bear looks like they're really tired from the sun. And I'm getting that from being on my trip. It was, oh my gosh. When I was in Charlotte and we were walking to the lake, it was like almost 100 degrees. And we didn't know how far it was to the lake. And it was, you know, a bit of a walk. But we survived. At the crossroads. It's like the crossroads where, you know, neither one is great. You know, one, you might have to deal with some dark energies over here, or someone who's always complaining or who wants to attack you. And over here, you might have to deal with a path that's really hot and sunny and draining. And how do you choose between those paths? And then we have the cobra, which is, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. When you can't choose a path, that's when the teacher comes to perhaps guide you in something else. And there's the reflecting swans of that love energy, right? Where the teacher and the student can be alternating, right? Places. And there's that hothead. Now the elk is supposed to be a really loving dude, except for when they don't eat properly, they can be a real jerk. You know, it can be someone you wouldn't want to know at all. So they can be very different energies at different times, depending on what they eat, how they treat themselves, right? Because remember that eating and drinking is part of loving yourself and giving your body. And I can't say anything because I'm terrible about eating sometimes, right? I eat too much sweets or you know, I'm usually all organic, except my weakness is ice cream. And when I go out on trips, you know, there's nowhere to eat that's organic, or I don't have my juicing in the morning, so it's not like I can go without some kind of food in the morning because I don't have my juice, which is usually a lot of nutrition because I have protein and vegetables and fruits in there that keep me going all day. So we tend to eat badly when we're in certain circumstances, which is about not loving oneself. But it can affect how you treat other people and yourself as well. So sometimes one's the teacher and one's the student, and perhaps sometimes it's the other way around, where this one may need to clam up and just put their feelers out first before exploding, right? If they're feeling hot-tempered. The bottom of the deck is the crocodile. So again, there's that reptilian type of energy lurking, just ready and waiting to trigger. And again, the lion is coming up is very calm, but they're also in that 3D energy of the red, orange, and yellow about ego. So there's that reptilian dark energy, and then there's just human ego energy, right? And what is the lesser of two evils when you're dealing with a choice? It's that same kind of energy there. It's all about just staying neutral in your own energy and not judging the others for being in that energy. And again, it's the underlying energy is coming nose to nose of human ego with reptilian energy here. And right behind it, they're like saying, do they realize what they're getting themselves into? Like, really going to go up against each other? I don't think so. Does that lion really know what he's doing? I don't know, right? So this is the underlying energy. And these are the two cards. The first, the underlying energy, and the first card out. A lot of dark energy there. It's like you need to choose in every moment what energy you want to express, right? I was triggered on my trip for sure. You know, when you're with your kids, of course they're going to trigger you at times. But it's just if you do get triggered, it's 12:21 by the way on the clock, to bring yourself right back. You know, and if you yelled at them or whatever, or just snapped, just apologize. And especially if you're dealing with your kids and you're teaching your kids what you're learning, they get it. And it's all good. And I can so see how much we've both come from the time I was working with, you know, when my son was still living home, we went through a lot together in learning spiritual lessons. So I want to pull one more card. I'm going to go to the journey of love. It's 1:44 on the clock. It's 1:44:44 on the clock. And it's 12:22 on the other clock. 1:44 and 1:22. It was 1:444 and 1:222. It's crazy. All right. All right. So from the journey of love. Okay, just one card came out. Let the feminine lead the way. And there's the 39 of the Knight of Cups, which is being love. She's got a handle on that Kundalini there. She's good to go. And again, this is that energy of the feminine being in the sun, that bright sun, which may be a little bit intimidating to the masculine, perhaps still in a vulnerable energy of the sweet soul rising, and perhaps there's still some judgment there. And time needed to, time out needed to contemplate of emotional fulfillment with the family energy, or just what it means to have that emotion, that ultimate emotional fulfillment for the masculine here. So it's the feminine leading the way, and then here's the children energy, and then the masculine energy, right? The child is coming into that sunshine energy with the feminine. The masculine may still be contemplating what it means for them to be emotionally fulfilled. And then the feminine, here's that devotion to the small. Okay, the journey here of standing up for yourself. And there she is again, her grace. The 17 of the star, of healing, of dreams coming true, and always staying in that place of grace. After bending over backwards, right? The yin-yang lover of the dance between the masculine and feminine, and bending over backwards, and yet being graceful at the same time. That you can be it all. You are it all. And what was behind that? The lovers. Right? This is like the 5D lovers in black and white. Right? It's very simple at this point. The 5D lovers. And then the feminine bending over backward to try to ground that union. And then finding grace, right? That forgiveness, that place of compassion, of dreams coming true, and finding her true love for herself. So let's see what the book has for you. And that first card out was the Panther. Let's see what the Panther has for you too. Panther's very fiery. Panther's annihilation of the unnecessary and purging. The panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, brave and productive, but when they're out of balance, they're self-destructive. To bring back into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. So again, there could be a trigger, whether it's a leak in your house or something else to get you to another place. So the first card out here is 39 and leading the way. Let the feminine lead the way. And this says the feminine principle in you, whether man or woman, is the way forward in your life now. She is the principle of feeling and surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you're going, therefore, but you can feel your way forward. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you, becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it's going to work out. She knows the way, and let her lead. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you have been feeling or sensing, even without any logical physical evidence, is worth following up on. Trust your senses over appearances, which we talked about earlier, and trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. My coming out is the freedom to fully be who I am and the surrender to the divine essence expressing through and around me. My coming out is the marriage of twin souls with my life partner in gratitude, in love, and unfolding is more than we could ever be on our own. Well, that's a pretty powerful message, coming up with her grace at the bottom of the deck. In her grace, in her compassion and forgiveness, is where she finds her lead, right? That she's good no matter what. Right? Even when there's triggers or reptilian energy coming in around you, it's okay. It's taking you to another place. Even if you get triggered, right? Because somebody gets in your energy and you're not being fully present and triggers you in ego, it's okay. It's taking you to another place. Just come right back to center again. Okay, guys, well, welcome back. And I hope this was helpful for you today. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know in the comments below. And what is today? I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Thursday. Is that right? Okay. Remember your water. Drink plenty of water. Clean, good water. And remember, there's a squirrel climbing up my tree right now. Remember your rest as much as you can. Get good rest. Remember, you might want to, have really long sleeps, once a week or so, or like fasting once a week, where you just go as many hours as you can, like, go to, like, not eat after 6 o'clock one night and then try to wait till, late lunch or dinner time to eat again. To give your body a fast once a week. Whatever you're called to do. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. And then your joy in nature. Remember to be outside and get some sun in your face. Get some nature next to you. It makes you feel better. And have an amazing day, you guys. Rise and be love. Love and rise. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.